Anthony DiNardo in the house. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just now seen the link when you were exiting. I didn't mean to keep you up any longer, even though it's early where you at. I'm the one who really needs to go to sleep.
No, you're on the East Coast, bro. I'm on the West Coast. I live in San Francisco.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm the one who needs to go to sleep, man. I don't know why I joined. I'm just so mad,
dude.
bro. Every time I close my eyes, I see Jaxson Hayes dunking again. Oh, I'm so frustrated, man. I can't sleep.
Dude, he had 8 points total across 6 games this season. Like, I don't follow the Lakers as much, so I haven't really watched to see how much like play he's been getting. Like, obviously DRA was out tonight, so he got more run tonight. But he had 11 points and he was 4 for 4, all basically alley oops. Just like Khalil Ware just wasn't able to keep up. And again, I don't want to blame him fully because like Luka Doncic is so freaking talented, obviously, that it makes anybody look good. Like, so that was a difficulty, obviously, dealing with the pick and roll. But still, like, he looks so aloof out there in that first quarter, like, and just so lost, and made Jaxson Hayes look better than even Luka made him look, right? Which was just unbelievable. And Jake, I don't know how to say his name, the new Miami Heat scrub killer, Jake LaRavia, like I don't even know. Like I know who he is. I remember he was on the Grizzlies last season, I believe. But there's always someone new that pops up as a Miami Heat scrub killer. 25 points off the bench, like that was rough, man.
Yeah, I mean a few things. I'll speak on Jake LaRavia first. I'll never forget that bum. He torched the Heat in the Summer League Championship last year, and since then is when he was anointed as a random scrub Heat killer. But I don't even like saying that. Usually those dudes are some dudes that get hot, like shooting. Like LaRavia was 10 to 13 today. Only 2 threes. Everything else was inside, getting Heat guys losing him back door, a couple offensive rebounds. And I hate to say it, Jaime Jaquez had that assignment a lot of the night, but part of me doesn't want to blame Jaime because he was tasked to do so much offensively that I'm sure he was exhausted defensively. And it's because nobody else out there could hit a shot. And Jaime's buckets were like energy inducing, coast to coast, sprinting nonstop. Of course, he's going to get tired on defense. So obviously, I hope that he doesn't have as much a load offensively when Norman and Tyler come back. But they still weren't great defensively, And it's like Jaime scored 31. That's great. He gave up 25 to Jake LaRavia, So how good was he really? And then the whole Jaxson Hayes thing. The part that frustrates me even more than that is like, okay, they got Jaxson Hayes. We have Khalil Ware. They can't run a couple of pick and rolls to Ware a game. I understand this pace doesn't suit Ware that well because he doesn't run the floor as hard as he should, but his catch radius is insane. He caught 2 lobs today. Had one from Davion early, one from Jovic late. I know you want to do the pace, but you're a historically low pick and roll team. Can you get 4 or 5 more a game, at least to him? I know you don't have a pick and roll ball handler like Luka. You don't even have anyone a fraction as good as that, but you don't need to when you have a guy with the catch radius of Khalil Ware. And maybe if you ran a few pick and lobs for him a game, maybe he would be more active defensively. Like, you got to feed your big man a little bit. And I just don't feel like they're setting him up in the best position, and then they're punishing him for it. So, he's a frustrating watch himself, but I also feel like that he could do more to help him.
I agree with you, man. It's like, yeah, we're trying to build a new identity with this offensive scheme. Like we tried the 5-out motion last year and like it didn't work, so we went back to the basics. And like, hey, like sometimes this pace and space game is not going to work, especially when you're not hitting threes. Lowest 3-point output tonight, which was 9 threes. We were like 27%. Like, hey, like go back to the bread and butter across 90% of NBA teams, the pick and roll. I agree with you. Like, play to the player's strengths, like especially when they're going to be playing in the rotation. Like to your point, Khalil, he is young. Like he has mobility, but he is a pick and roll type of player. He needs to be in that dunker spot. And if we're not going to play the pick and roll with him, like what's the point of having him out there? Like Spurs game, we didn't have him in the pick and roll. And what did the Spurs do? They just allowed him to basically played the PJ Tucker role, like effectively, like he was on the corners and the wings, and they just dared him to shoot those threes. He was 0 for 4. Like luckily
Took
he hit
4
one tonight,
shots,
but
all of them from downtown. Your
yeah,
7-foot
man.
athletic freak took 4 shots all from downtown. Make it make sense. That's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
And our rim protection is ridiculous too. Like Bam Adebayo had his second block of the season. Like I'm not gonna say he's regressed. Like I'm not gonna blame Bam. He is literally our free safety. Like he is our roamer. Like probably the second best point of attack defender. I'll probably give it to Davion, but like our rim protection was bad. To your point, Jake LaRavia did not. He is known as a 3-point shooter technically, and he was only 2 for 3. Like he had putbacks, post up shots, little hook shots, like and some of them were on Bam as a help defender, but just the points in the paint, man. That just
LaRavia
killed us.
had one coast to coast, kind of like Jaime was doing today, where he dunked it in the paint. Khalil Ware was
Yep.
just standing in the paint. You can see him coming from a mile away because the Heat had scored. They had time to get back. Ware is just standing in the paint. He should be ashamed of himself. He let a guy go coast to coast and slam it with 0 rim deterrence whatsoever. If you got to foul him, if you got to put a guy on his ass who's 10 to 13, put a guy on his ass. Try to contest it. Ware just stood there. That can't happen for me, big man.
Just didn't even flinch. Like literally, like barely even moved. Was right under the basket. Like essentially, like I was pissed off on that one too as well. What do you think? Do you think the Heat bounce back tomorrow? This is their first back-to-back game, I believe, this season. So tough game. I mean, I don't know if Norm's going to play. Someone in the comments said that Ethan said that Powell's going to play tomorrow. We desperately need a closer and someone who could score, and a 3-level scorer, obviously, and a 3-point shooter. But this might be a tough game, man, on the road. Like the Clippers have been good at home. We'll see. What are your thoughts? Do you think the Heat bounce back?
Well, I certainly think they bounce back, but it has nothing to do with Norman Powell. I just think the Clippers stink. They're one Kawhi game winner away from being under 500 this season. People thought they'd be world beaters, and that's because they have a bunch of names on a piece of paper. That's what they have. They went out, they got Brook Lopez, they got Bradley Beal, they still got Bogdanovich, they got James Harden, Kawhi. Those guys do not mesh, man. They haven't meshed for a long time. I've never been a fan of the Clippers. Every year, I think they're overrated, and year after year after year, they continue to come up short. And so far this season, they're off to a much slower start than people believed they would be off to, just because they got all these names. And I do think Norman Powell is going to play. He was questionable today, which I think is very clear that he was going to play one of the back-to-back games. Of course, it makes the most sense for him to come back tomorrow. And if he is healthy, then he's very clearly going to come out with a vengeance, because they didn't want to pay him. They chose Bradley Beal over him, and he's going to take that personal, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, will Zubac have 30 and 20, and would that be enough to maybe carry the Clippers a little bit? Sure. He does terrify me. But in general, outside of him, I don't think the Clippers are that good a team. And especially with Norman back, I think they'll be fine. I mean, the defense stuff is concerning. You know, he gave up 130 points, but there were so many bricks early on that led to transition buckets for the Lakers. Having a guy who can actually hit a shot, it will eliminate a lot of the opportunities that the Lakers have defensively. You know, it won't fix your rebounding, it won't fix the second chance point stuff, but it will stop a lot of the pace from the other team, just having some more offensive guys out there. So I do think they'll be helped a lot there. I don't think they're going to give up anywhere close to 130 tomorrow.
No, that was the thing I was saying. I was talking to some people, texting some friends, and I was like, outside of the 3-point shooting, obviously, and then the free throws came later. I think we were shooting like in the high 80s in the first half. We started missing a bunch in the second half. I wasn't concerned with that. Turnovers, I've been concerned with. We've been turning the ball over a lot more, I believe, this season. I don't know the exact numbers, but I feel like we're averaging more turnovers. Turnovers, 3-point shooting. What was I going to say?
You cut out for a minute there. What did you say before turnovers and 3-point shooting?
I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. I was saying the free throws weren't as concerning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your connection lost for a second there. I didn't hear that part.
Well, that helps me, and I guess even though I lost my
Yeah,
train of
no
thought.
one heard you thinking your train of thought. It sounded like you were talking continuously the whole time. There's some concern you had today?
Where was I
What
going with that shit?
it's weird too. The people will look at the offensive rebounding numbers today, because I felt like that's been a concern all year. The Heat had more boards offensively than the Lakers did today, but there was a lot of possessions where the Heat bobbled the defensive rebound and went out of bounds. The Lakers retained possession. So those won't show up on the stats as an offensive rebound for the Lakers, but for all intents and purposes, it is. So I just want to kind of point that out. If there's anyone who maybe is just didn't see the game, they're looking at the box score. The Lakers had way more second and third chance opportunities than the box score shows that they had. You can tell because they took, I think, 11 more shots tonight. And I think in the Spurs game, I think the Spurs took like 15 more shots than the Heat. So back-to-back games, your opponent's getting double-digit more shots than you. That's not a recipe to win a game. And the fact you didn't get blown out in both of those games is very telling that if you can clean that stuff up, you might have a decent team on your hands.
For sure. I mean, right now before this game, we were the fourth on defensive rating, seventh in offensive rating. Like we're top 10 in both those categories. I mean, the defense doesn't surprise me, even though last year we're ninth, somewhere around 9th to 11th, like we oscillated between that. Last year, though, like offensive rating, we were 25th. So obviously this new offense is working. Like we were averaging 109 last season. Now, I mean, before this game, we were the number one team in the league, 131 points per game, which is insane. Like I'm happy we still were able to score 120 tonight with missing all those free throws, with missing all those three-pointers, not having our number one scorer, not having your favorite player even play yet this season, and Tyler Hero, who you absolutely don't want us to trade, right? So
I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in this offense. I am. I think it can go one way or the other way, and if it goes the positive route, then it could work out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him too. Like I'm not worried about him disrupting chemistry or whatnot. Like we're not going anywhere overall. Like it's been fun so far, even though the Heat are 3-3 at this point. Like I had no expectations. I thought they would be the 7th seed this season. Like realistically and like optimistically, I said they could probably be the 5th seed, probably at best. Like I mean, if there's injuries that happen in the landscape, which there always are, a Brunson can get hurt, a Giannis can get whoever. Well, not Giannis doesn't really matter. The Bucks already suck, but a Cade Cunningham, right? One of the teams that are ahead of us could lose someone for the season. Maybe the Heat can get 4th, but realistically, I assume this team would be the 7th seed. Like we're not competing. Even if we do compete somehow and win the East, we're not beating anybody in the West at this point, right?
Oh. See, I had him at 4th. I did have him at 4th.
You did that? Like that was your prediction?
It was.
I mean,
at 4th.
It's still possible, obviously. I mean, especially the way they've been playing offensively. Like defensively, we knew they were going to be like a top defensive team. But like if they can sustain and if they could be top 10 in defense and offense, then they will be real. Especially when we get Tyler back, especially when we get Norm back, especially hopefully when guys like Jovic and whoever else do we need, maybe Davion, like can continue to play consistent. Like we have Jaime is the one who popped. We just need Nico and Davion to be probably consistent, right? And we have a chance to compete. Like if you look back at all the NBA champions for the past 25 years, I actually did this recently. Basically, you have to be top 10 in either defense or offense. Like you have to, like in the last 25 years alone, dating back to when the Lakers won their three-peat to when the Thunder won last year. Like half of those teams, though, like 12 of those teams were top 10 in both. You know what I mean? So like, especially if you're top 10 in both, like there's a high likelihood that you can win a championship. And I'm not gonna say the Heat would win a championship, but we would be the real deal, I think, and possibly be a top 3 or 4 seed team if we can sustain this. It's only been 6 games like that we're top 10 in both. Like, what have we been on average in offensive rating? Like bottom 10 the last 5 years or so. The one year we got your boy Kyle Lowry and we got Victor Oladipo that season when we were the number 1 seed. We were like a top 10 offensive rated team, I think, that 1 year alone.
Yeah, they shot the lights out. They had historically good shooting that year.
Yeah, we're number like 1 in 3-point percentage, like number 3 in makes that season. Like,
and they balanced out in the playoffs. So yeah.
So quick thoughts there, real quick. What are your thoughts on Jovic so far? I think he's been disappointing. It's only been 5-6 games, but young season.
I think he's been worse than that. I think he's been stinky. I think he's been worthless. I think he's completely useless in the half court. I think he's too wild. I think he's out of control. I think he has no touch around the rim. I think he forces up terrible three-pointers. And I think I'm terrified that he's going to be getting $15 million a year coming up within the next couple of years.
I mean, I was trying to be nice about it, but yeah, you didn't sugarcoat that at all. Like he's looked indecisive. He's looked like he's lacking confidence.
Mm-hmm.
He has taken some bad 3-pointers to your point. Also, he has no post presence, obviously. Like if he's not playing a fast paced style of basketball, run and gun transition style of basketball, again, he doesn't have the best half court
Amir,
ability.
it was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter. He jumped up and down in the corner and landed. What the hell? Oh, that play made me go nuts. You have all this momentum. Jaime coast to coast. He had the putback dunk or whatever, 2-point game, and all this moment. And Jovic jumps up and down. You jump without knowing where you're passing the ball. That's basketball 101. That's the first thing they teach you when you're in middle school. Don't leave your feet without knowing where you're going to pass the ball. And when in a 2-point game with all the momentum, that's what Jovic does.
He's at the 3-point line.
From the 3-point line.
Not even in the paint, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, at least if they're driving, they get caught up in the air. They don't know what they're going to do. Then they throw it away. I'm like, you did it on the
standing in the corner.
Stationary is the key point. Hey, he did make up for it, though. But that killed
with the layup and a lob and that's it. And he hit a 3 after.
He hit a 3. I mean, he played better in the fourth quarter, but like before that, though, not contributing, non-existent, like just lack of confidence. Like, again, he has pretty decent handles and guard like skills for a 6'11" type player, but in the half court, like you don't really see it. Like there's times where he gets past his defender. He actually also did get to the paint 2 times in the first half, where he actually did dribble, penetrate, and got to the rack, and he missed both of his layups. One of them was like a wide open scoop that he had, and then another one. I think he get fouled at least. I think he got fouled, but it should have been an and one. Like it was like literally like I think the defender hit the wrong arm. Like they hit his right arm when he was attempting that layup, and he missed that. Like, yeah, to your point, I agree. Like he's been bad. Like Trent's been saying this too. Like on lives, he's been joining me on the lives, and he's. I'm not going to say he's regressed yet because he looks the same as last year because he's a role player. He's inconsistent. He'll have the one game where he scores 8, 120, 1-0. 1-7, 1-9. Like that's just inconsistent role players, which is what he is. But he got paid basically for the potential, not for like what he has done. So to your point, that could be a bad contract, but I think he'll be fine. I think it's going to be tradable. It's not as bad as Duncan, where Duncan literally like had to go in the lab because he wasn't playing at all, and at least put in some time and effort to learn how to do something besides shoot 3-pointers, right? So I don't think it's as bad. He has a little more utility than Duncan did. That contract looked dead in the water until it wasn't, thank God. But yeah, he's been bad, man.
Then compared to Terry Rozier, oh yeah, he's been great. Yeah, he's been awesome. If that's what you want to do.
True. That's a good point, man. What about Bam real quick before we close out? What are your thoughts on Bam so far this year? Him being our captain, our leader, and someone that we thought would step up with Tyler being out. Like he's been fine, obviously, this year. He's been Bam. Yeah. Bam's been Bam. Like I'm not a Bam hater. I don't know your perspective. Like I understand all the shit, like the dirty work that people don't understand, the stupid Heat Twitter people that we deal with, obviously, as content creators, just don't understand that like the amount of screens that he does, like the amount of like how good he is like his rebounds are down, but like he boxes out for others to get rebounds. Like obviously he does everything. People just think he sucks because he's not scoring 25 points per game, right? Like that's not who he is. So what are your thoughts on Bam so far? Just this season?
Yeah, I like Bam. I like everyone on the team though. I mean, probably in like the last 15 years, there's probably only a handful of guys I did not like while here, like Kyle Lowry, Mo Harkless, Trevor Ariza, Gerald Green, Kelly Olynyk, Josh McRoberts.
You don't like Kelly or Josh?
No,
like
Bob? I know I'm on the minority. No, I'm in the minority on Kelly. I think most people don't like McBob though. You like McBob?
No, I'm just messing around, man. I love the references. I like talking to real Heat fans because like that we can go back Like remembering that squad, Josh
Yeah.
McRoberts, dude.
I
That was
know
those
most
are
people like Kelly, and Kelly was a good dude. He gave up so many. He's so slow on closing out to the corner. I found it so wildly frustrating. But anyways, I like everyone on the roster, so I don't really have any agendas one way or another. But the funny part about Bam, I'll call it funny more so than frustrating, is he'll play against Jaren, he'll play against Wemby, he'll take it personal, he'll go off, he'll play against Jaxson Hayes or Rory Hachimura and take 11 shots. Like, why don't you take every matchup personal? If you can score 31 on Wemby, maybe you can score 40 on Hachimura. You know, that was your matchup tonight. I just wish he would show that same level of aggression every night. Although it's a bit different because in this matchup, he had the Luka assignment, or not the whole game, but he guarded Luka for a pretty substantial portion. I understand it's going to be difficult to take 30 shots, but he also guarded Wemby a large portion of that game, and he still took 30 shots, that game versus Spurs. And at the end of the day, I know he's asked to do a lot. You got a max contract. I don't think it's a lot to ask to guard the best player and take 15 to 25, or let's say 20, 25 shots a game, get to the free, or maybe 20 shots a game, get to the free throw line 7 or 8 times. I don't think that's a lot to ask. But defensively, I still think he's the best in the world. I do think he's literally the best in the world. I think he's better than Wembanyama, and he's still getting you about 20 points a game this year. So I just want to see a little bit more aggression offensively, like consistently aggressive offensively.
I agree. I mean, dude, this guy's 26 years old. Like, you're young. Like, yes, I know it's different because he's a big man, even though he's an undersized big man. Like the LeBrons, the Kobe's, the MJ's, the
Hey,
Kawhi.
Bam was 28. I thought I was tripping for a second. He's not that young no more.
27. Well, young enough,
28.
bro. I'm 40, so he's young in my opinion.
He's
Like
an unk.
he's in his. I know I'm up now. He's in his prime though. Like he's in his prime. But like I'm saying, like most of these guys are wings that I'm referring to. That's why I was saying Bam is technically a big in comparison. But like the Kawhis, the MJs, the Kobe's, the LeBrons, like again, they're different people than him, but like they were locking up. They were all NBA. They were depoys. Like they were doing it on both ends of the floor. Like Bam, you could and should be able to do that. And I just don't think Bam has a real bag. Like he has a bag compared to bigs, compared to other power forwards across the league. Like there's not that many guys that have the versatility like him on offense, but like he doesn't have that bag. He has no post game. Like against the Spurs, like was it against the Spurs or was it against who was the game before the Spurs? I think it was against the Spurs. He was getting like points in the paint. Like he was doing the left hand hook. He was actually backing guys down, getting some turnaround shots, not the fadeaway, like at the mid range. But like I just don't think he has that elite bag for him to be that high level of a scorer, unless he's like a looter and a riot kind of situation, or if he's playing on the Hornets or if he's playing on the Nets, where it's like Bam, just shoot 35 shots every night. Who gives a fuck about efficiency? Then sure, Bam could score more. I don't know.
He doesn't have a bag. He has the worst footwork I've ever seen out of the post, and that part's very frustrating. Can't take
What
advantage
about
of a
these?
mismatch.
What about the
And
Butterfingers?
his hands are awful, especially on rebounds as well. On the lob, they're pretty good, but on rebounds, it's not good. And in general, it's not great. But when you're 6'9" and you're that athletic and you're that strong, he's about 250. I don't think you need a bag because most of the time they have a center on him who I think is too slow to guard him, or they have a guy on him who's too slow to keep up with him. You don't need a bag when you should be able to either blow past them or put your head or shoulders into them and get fouls, get free to get to the free throw line, whatever, every time. Like, you don't need a bag. Be more aggressive downhill. I thought he did a decent combination versus Wemby. Took 13 threes, but he had the blow by where he dunked on him. He had another play early on where kind of hooked him a little bit, but no call, got to the rim. He did have one jump hook on him, which I found to be impressive. He had the one where he went into Wemby's chest on the drive, dumped it off to Jaime Jaquez. He still was able to find ways on Wemby to get to the rim. That leads me to believe he can do that to anybody. You don't need a bag. You're 6'9", 250, and you could jump through the roof. Put your head down, get to the rim, get free throws. With his build, 8 free throw attempts he should sleepwalk into that with his eyes closed. So that's what I want to see more of.
Who should be his comp? His Nigerian brother. Who's the Greek freak? Even though he's the nationally or whatever it is, right? Like is Greek, but his ethnicity is Nigerian. He's not the same obviously as Giannis in terms of strength, but like do what Giannis is doing, kind of like overpower and try to get to the hoop. Like, I mean, like emulate that if you can, right? Like
Play
Giannis
style,
can't
yeah,
shoot. Bam is a better shooter than Giannis,
yeah,
but still, like we're never gonna say like trade Bam and Tyler for Giannis tomorrow, right? Like just do it. I don't care at this point. But he needs
yeah. I
to
would.
I agree with you on that. Like the last few seasons he has not been using his foot speed on the perimeter against the bigs, like taking him to the rack like he did probably year 3, 4, like the bubble year. And then the year after that, like right when he started to um ascend essentially, like he was using his speed a lot more and his athleticism, and he hasn't been. I think he needs to play like he's not as dominant as Giannis. Like he's never going to be that, but like he needs to use that athleticism to get to the rim. He has the strength. He does have that touch. So emulate Giannis if you can. Like learn from Giannis. Like otherwise, he's going to become Carl Anthony Towns. Like now, shooting like 18 3-pointers a game. Like which his shooting touch has improved. That's fine. Like I don't mind it. But to your point, just like use your athleticism. Just like beat those bigs off the dribble. And his handles are pretty good. Like he's got decent handle to get to the rim, but he's not utilizing that skill set. Like, what is he working on in the offseason? Like, just like how are you not like how do you have no like post up game whatsoever? Like, how's your footwork not improved? Like every other center has done, right? And done some training with Hakeem to get better. Like, ask Jaime Jaquez. Like, learn from Jaime. Like, literally, and also learn like
We got
what was that
Hakeem at
movie?
home. We don't need to go get Hakeem. We got Hakeem at home.
Yeah, exactly. What was that movie where the kid couldn't catch in the night? You're way younger than I am, but like, there's a on his hand and shit. Was it? I think it was Little Giants.
Never seen it.
Ahead of your time. Do you remember that movie, Little Giants, the football
Never,
movie?
never heard of it. Nah.
You've never heard. Here's a homework assignment for you. This is a classic '90s. It
Little
has.
John. Let me
It
search
has.
that up real quick here.
It has. Yeah, look it up real quick. It's a football movie. It has. What the fuck is his name? The guy from Honey I Shrunk the Kids and stuff. The dad and like Al
That
Bundy.
movie I've heard.
Al Bundy. Whatever the guy from Modern Family, the dad. You know, Al. Again, you're young.
Oh, the dad from Modern Family. You talking about
No. The one that's dating the one that's married to Sofia Vergara.
I know Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy
Yeah,
from Married with Children. He's in
yeah.
that movie too. It's a fucking classic.
Oh,
Anyway,
I
this
love
kid
Ed
couldn't.
O'Neill because Modern Family. That is my favorite show actually, like of all time. So if he's in it, then I definitely would like it.
It's '90s classic, dude. This kid couldn't catch a football and he was the wide receiver. So it's like Bam and Adebayo's our center who can't catch the goddamn ball in the post. Like they put some like glue to cheat. Basically, we need to do that for Bam as well. Like, dude, and also this guy basketball 101 as a big man, he freaking holds the ball down at his fucking waist. Like when he catches the ball
Mhm.
and gets stripped, it's like, dude, you're 6'9". Like, remember that play against the Knicks against Jalen Brunson too? He tried to post up on him and just stripped him
He got ripped by
immediately, dude.
Brunson and he got ripped by Hart out of the post.
Frustrating, dude.
Nah. It sounds funny to say emulate the 3-time MVP, one of the best players of all time. But I get what you're saying because from a mentality standpoint, those guys are night and day in terms of how they approach the game night in and night out. They both work hard, off the court. I think their work ethic is very similar. But as far as mentality on the court, the way they approach it once that ball jumps, night and day between how they see the game.
100%. Anyway, what's your prediction for tomorrow? You think the Heat bounce back? You said the Clippers suck. So I'm gonna be there. I'm actually
Yeah.
going tomorrow to that
Oh,
game,
I
and
bet. I'm
I'm
glad you
pretty
picked
excited.
tomorrow instead of tonight then. So
Oh, I was gonna go tonight because my brother and I are Laker haters. Like that's the
okay.
Lakers are the team I hate the most across any single sport. Like I'm a Niner fan. I like everything Bay Area except for basketball, which is probably a sin now because I could have had a lot more fun being a Warrior fan the last decade living in San Francisco. But
Yeah,
um,
we had our fun.
we had our fun. But like the Lakers are not even technically a Heat rival, even though we should have beat them in the finals in the bubble. But like even like the Niners, you could see my helmet there. Like our biggest rival, in the history is Cowboys or Seahawks, and like I still hate the Lakers more, like, and they're not even a true rival. And my brother lives in SoCal, and he couldn't go to the game tonight, so thank God, because otherwise I would have been at that game. But I'm going tomorrow, and my
Yeah, I hope it's a
cousin.
good one, man. That's fun. That's dope. I hope it's a
I
good
used
one
to
for
work
you.
for the Clippers too, so it's in 2012. So I used to go to the Staples Center as my office every day, so this will
Mhm.
be my first time in the Intuit Dome. I'm not a Clipper fan, obviously. I
Oh yeah, you got to tell me about that stadium. Oh, I got to make it out there. That place looks so cool. The Intuit Dome. Oh, it looks so cool.
I had to download an app just to get in. So like I have the Intuit
Mhm.
Dome app, and like they have like Face ID and all that, like facial recognition, which I didn't want to do to give them my biometric data, but whatever. I you could basically go in there without taking out your phone. Basically, so you could put your credit card on the app. You could put your ticket on the app. Like basically, I have the setting where I walk in and there's no bring out your phone and scan the barcode. I just walk in and it's going to scan it through my pocket, even with my passcode.
Wow.
That's what they said. And you go to the concessions and it's
Uh-huh.
cashless apparently. So what you have basically, and it itemizes what you got. I don't know how they're going to do with like the alcohol thing without checking ID. No one checks my ID anymore, obviously, with these whites. I got my ID on my face now, but I don't know. It's going to be cool. Like it's obviously Steve Ballmer, former CEO owner of the Clippers, is making it super high tech and stuff. So
Mhm.
we'll see. We'll see. The Clippers, I don't, again, I'm not a fan, but at one point when I worked there, I was obviously rooting for them secondarily after um, obviously rooting for the Miami Heat. And a funny story, my boss who hired me was he's from Philly, and he almost didn't hire me because I was a Heat fan. And this was during the Big Three era, and he thought I was just a fair weather fan. He's like, "You live in
Mhm.
California," like, and I was actually born in Pennsylvania, so him and I kind of bonded when I interviewed, and I didn't tell him how long I lived in Pennsylvania for because I moved when I was 5. He lived there his whole life, and so I think we had the Pennsylvania connection, and then I told him, I'm a Heat fan, and he got pissed off um, about it, thinking I was a fair weather fan. Which some people still ask me, are you a Heat fan? Are you a LeBron fan? And they've been asking this since he's been gone. I'm like, no, I would be on insert whatever team he's on now fan.
Mhm.
I'd be a Cleveland fan. I'd be a Laker fan. Like if I'm not a LeBron, I'm a LeBron. I don't know. I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm upset that he left. That's a different story. Prematurely,
Yeah.
But I obviously love and respect for what he did. But like, I'm not a big LeBron guy since he's left.
Yeah.
So
I was a hater when he left. I kind of softened up a bit just because I didn't want him to win once he left, and then he won, and I was like, all right, whatever. I don't care as much anymore. But see, I did start watching the Heat when the Big Three. 2010 was my first like experience watching Heat basketball. So people will still accuse me to this day of being a fair weather fan. But like, I'll hit you with the Terrell Harrises and Jarvis Fernardos and Justin Hamiltons and Jordan Mickeys. I'll hit you with all
what is this shit?
the
You're talking about the G League? There was the G League guys back there, or D League?
yeah,
The G League.
I'll tell you every Sioux Falls guy that came in since 2010. I ain't no bandwagon, man. I sat through 82 games of Willie Reed and Luke Babbitt and all those guys, man. So I'm fucking here. I'm
Briante
locked in.
Weber.
And Briante Weber's first, second, third, and fourth stint here. Yes, I was here.
Dude, Dexter. Did I go back? Dexter Pittman, dude. Oh my
Dexter
god.
Pittman, man. That team, they had Dan Pierre. They were trying to find Eddie Curry. They were trying to find a big man for the longest time.
Good memory, dude. My memory. I'm aging myself, but
Jamal McGlure, too. They had who's the Jarnell Stokes? They tried him for a little
oh
bit,
yeah,
won a G League MVP that one year, I think.
we had Jamar